anyone who has had a difficult relationship, and I know plenty of people have, with their fathers, with their mothers, with siblings that have been very, very difficult. If you can somehow hand it to the Lord and say, Lord, would you take care of this person for me? I was raised really in this wonderful Christian home, delightful Christian home. And as a matter of fact, my father became a pastor. And I so admired my father. We all just loved him dearly. He was a wonderful man. And so was my mother, and then our family fell apart. Shortly after we got married, my father had an affair. I didn't know really about it, but things fell apart in the ministry. He was still a minister. It was an awful mess for my parents. They're both gone now, so I feel all right sharing this. But it became a real awful mess for the family. And this relationship with my father was really broken because I felt he had gone so far away from the Lord that his was very destructive. And he said, Sandel, I can't do it anymore. You're doing what your mother did to me, and I can't handle this. And so he said, our relationship is over. Well, strangely enough, I was very relieved because I knew the best thing as a believer was, I felt scripturally, to not have a relationship with him because he became an atheist and again was very destructive in the family. And I was able to just hand it to the Lord so that I can be a blessing on this earth and not be preoccupied with thinking of my father and being worried about him, and is he going to come to you, and when can I talk to him because I'm so mad about something. No, release it to the Lord and let the Lord take care of it. God, redeem this somehow. Please, I pray that my father will come back to you somehow. And, well, we'll fast forward again. I got a call from my brother just a few years ago. He called up and said, Sandel, Dad's dying. He got cancer and he's dying. Call Dad. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, by now, my heart was really sealed. I didn't have emotion for my dad, but I would pray for him. But I can honestly say I did not have love for my father. And yet it didn't feel guilty about it. I just had resolved with the Lord, but I always prayed that somehow the Lord's will would be done and Dad would come back to him. So I'm like, yeah, I want to call Dad. I want to tell him what a wonderful father he was when we were little, and how much he influenced my life. Who I am today in ministry is largely due to my father. And I just had this calmness. It was like, because God has given me, you can have the peace, I'm convinced of it, that even when there's awful things that happen in your life with people who you love dearly, and they've gone away from the Lord, you can have this peace and he carries you through it. And it doesn't become a distraction in your life. You just keep on doing your work and handing it. To me, that's what forgiveness is. Handing it over to the Lord. Whatever the issue is, he's in control, he's in charge, he'll take care of it. And I called my dad. He says, hello. I said, Sam, Dad, it's Sandel. Oh, on the other side of the phone. Oh, Sandel, I'm so sorry for what I did to you. I'm so sorry. Now, he had never apologized to us, never to any of us for what the mess he wreaked in our family, really. Sandel, I'm so sorry for what I did to you. Please forgive me. And as he was saying that, I felt he was talking to God, and he was apologizing to God for what he had done. I just feel that in my soul, that that's what was really going on there. And then I said, may I pray for you? And he said, oh yes, please pray. And it was just a beautiful experience. So I thank God for the way he heals and brings together, that my father now is with the Lord. He asked forgiveness, and he asked forgiveness of my mother, and it can be healed. Because it's remarkable to me how the Lord, when I really gave it to him and said, Lord, please take this, he removed The stress, I wouldn't even think, I didn't even think of it. I didn't stress over it. And I really believe, because I gave it to God, He took it. It's His responsibility working in my father's life. And I've found blessing upon blessing to be able to live my life not feeling burdened, not feeling preoccupied, distracted. I can be a mom, I can be a wife, I can do ministry. So I really would encourage anyone who has had a difficult relationship, and I know plenty of people have, with their fathers, with their mothers, with siblings that have been very, very difficult. If you can somehow hand it to the Lord, put it in His hands, and say, Lord, would you take care of this person for me? That may your will be done. Just hand that over to God, and He will really help guide you through those difficult and painful times in life.